Squadron!
All in a day's work for the Squadron Supreme, Earth's mightiest heroes.
We got it locked from your block to the comic shop.
Listen, share, rate, and subscribe to Hip Hop Marvels Podcast, available on all podcast platforms and apps and streaming services. Available on Pandora, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and more.
Yo, this your boy Frank Nick. And there's rules if you want to get in this Marvel Studios. Don't nobody get in this motherfucker. So rule number 1, don't pop your ass up. Don't bring no extra niggas. And you better be ready to write, direct, produce some hot shit, or you will not get in. Marvel Studios, nigga, you know what it is. Frank Nick, let's go.
We got it locked from your block to the comic shop.
Fine. I'll do it myself.
1 2 1 2. Hip Hop Marvels. Marvelous, Marvin Hagel of verses, Hearns whenever Bash take turns on verses. Curses on whoever stepping near the bomb epicenter. The inventors of hallways y'all can't enter. So any villain type of step up, he get injured. We pull out pins and link up like the defenders.
The end of your road, playboy, of course you're center the fold. I'm Bobby Drake versus Froze like I invented the code. You can't hold a candle to us with too much, you screw up. The podcast will tell you something good like Rufus. And we don't give two fucks with bash your territory. Get the cash and the glory while the grill tells my story.
It's getting gory, the blood, sweat, and tears took us farther. When great minds think alike, combined and onslaught ya. Xavier types that Magneto grip the microphone. Scott Summers stare a human down if I don't like its song. Metal on me like I'm Dr. Doom, piece to pick the bond. We marvelous on any beat we choose to spit upon. Bash.
It's your boy Doug Floyd, and the place to be, and the place to be is Doug Floyd, and this is Hip Hop Marvels Podcast, your friendly neighborhood plug for all things hip hop and Marvel, where we got it locked from the block to the comic shop.
Yes, sir.
And this is episode number 45. We call this episode here Love and Hip Hop Marvels. You know what I'm saying?
I love it.
Yeah, it's Valentine's Day. You know what I mean? What you got planned, man?
Honestly, with work and the schedule, with Valentine's Day being in the middle of the week, kind of pushed everything to Friday.
Okay.
So we were trying to get to that Cat Williams show, and then I believe that Dion Cole, he's coming to town. So I'll probably take her to a comic show, try to get her to a fancy restaurant just to make something happen.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah, I got a few things planned. By the time this episode comes out, she'll already have it. So,
Indeed.
I ain't gonna spoil too much
Please
of it,
don't,
but
no.
but yeah, she, yeah, man, we talk enough about
Indeed.
our spouses and everything, man. So she knows she has something great lined up.
Let them tell it. We don't talk about them.
Right. Exactly.
That's the basis of most of our conversations.
Exactly. But before we continue, to the right of me, I have.
Of course, you already know it's your boy Jigpool, Deadpool elitist.
You know what I'm saying?
Everything Deadpool.
Everything
You
Deadpool. As you can see. Oh yeah. Let's tell them about that. That giveaway you got.
Guys, when you get the opportunity, please go to my page. Go to Hip Hop Marvels Podcast on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all of the above. We have a giveaway going on.
Yes, sir.
Drawings will happen February 16th, which will be next Friday. However, I need you to go and follow those rules, and there's a lot of good gifts to be had. Put yourselves in the mix. We appreciate all of you guys taking part.
Yes, sir. Take part. You know what I'm saying? Interact with us.
Indeed.
And get some of these dope prizes, man. I'm looking at them, right now.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
You know what I'm saying? We later on in the episode, we'll
show you guys what we Indeed.
Yes, sir. So before we continue, please listen, share, rate, subscribe everywhere you get your podcasts, across the board, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, YouTube Music now,
and Spotify,
Pandora, everywhere. Check us out on YouTube. You know what I mean? We got the new visuals out.
Indeed.
And Yeah.
Spotify and YouTube is on PlayStation, so you could have us playing while you're playing your game.
There you go. There you go.
We're everywhere. Make it happen.
There you go. Hip Hop Marvels Podcast. Yes, and please follow us on all our social media.
Yes, indeed.
Instagram, Twitter, well, X.
Right.
I hate that.
I don't think anybody in the history of that still even tried to call it X. It's still Twitter for everybody.
But yeah, at Hip Hop Marvels. Facebook, Hip Hop Marvels, all one word. Threads at Hip Hop Marvels. It's pretty much Hip Hop Marvels across the board.
Yes, we're the only ones.
And that's it, so you know what time it is, man. We're going to get into it.
Timeline Teams. Indeed.
Timeline Teams. So yeah, man. Jonathan Majors is back in the fold again, man.
Yeah, I mean, he's never going to leave the fold. That gentleman has solidified himself as a controversial feature.
Yeah, man.
I don't know really where they're going to go with that. They're going to keep him. They're going to get rid of him. They're going to keep him. So we don't know.
Yeah. So recently, 2 more women have come forward accusing the actor of abusing them physically and emotionally.
Right.
So I don't know what to make of this, man. Like,
Yeah, I'm never into victim shaming, but at the same time, we have to hold that innocent until proven guilty. That accountability has to stay in place.
Most definitely.
It has to.
Most definitely. I got this article, and it's from Huffington Post, and it says, in an interview with the New York Times, and in pretrial statements to a separate assault case, Emma Duncan, who was engaged to Majors between 2015 and 2019, accused the Marvel actor of emotionally and physically abusing her, including choking, bruising, and throwing her around. Look, again.
Slippery slope.
Yeah, again, slippery slope. Are they kicking a dog while he's down? Like
it's what it seems like. At the same time, you never want to victim shame, but where were you all this time? Where was that pain? Where was that hurt and anguish? And why is it only relevant now in relation to another case? Right. You guys were married, you were separated, he moved on, you moved on. But now is the time to speak your truth.
Right. And to a degree, I get it.
Yeah,
because
it gives you bravery. It gives you an incentive to come out.
It gives you bravery. Yeah. You another person does it. You're like, okay, it's safe to come out.
Right.
And but then again, like you said, it's like you don't know until you don't know until you know. It says she recounted how following a confrontation with him, Majors threw her into a couch at a hotel in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and stated, "I'm going to kill you." He also allegedly said, "I'm going to make sure you can't even have children."
Oh, okay.
So,
that sounds rather aggressive.
Yeah. So we're gonna get continue to look into this.
Just hope there's no pattern showing for this gentleman.
Right. I mean, because it's already a tough road back.
Indeed. Oh, indeed.
Anyway,
I mean, because you had the ladies and now you lost them, and once you lose the guys, that's the other half. So
right. So
it's a long climb back up.
Yeah, it's already a tough road back, and you don't want to make the road even tougher. No. You don't want to make
especially not dealing with Disney. They will chop you, and then once you get taken from the mouse, you're kind of hard to deal with in any other studio or any other situation.
Yeah, exactly.
If you can't deal with Disney, I can't see anybody else touching you other than independent studios that don't fear of being canceled.
Exactly. So, we know he's no longer with, like you said, Disney, Marvel family, and I've been hearing things here and there about them replacing
with Denzel Washington's son.
Right. Them replacing the Kang.
I wouldn't be opposed. He's a great actor, great voice. It's just,
Right. Or them still going with Kang.
Yeah.
With the Kang. And they're keeping, the Kang Dynasty title.
They could keep him and embarrass him. Kill him in a bunch of different ways. It's a lot of ways they can go about that. They can destroy Kang and make him look weak and bring in another big bad. We talked about that on one of the other episodes.
Right. Yeah. And Terry had a great point too. Because we were talking about the whole Doom aspect and everything.
Correct.
Because, when the trial first happened and the verdict was read, we were trying to figure out like where does Marvel go from here? You know,
'cause they stayed quiet. I believe they held their hand as long as they could until it got to a point where, hey, we got to separate ourselves from this nonsense.
Yeah, man. It's just like, you know, it's a slippery slope. And I just hope it gets. I hope there's some resolve for all
everybody.
For all parties involved. You know, I mean, if he said and done those things, then he deserves every bit of what 100%. He gets. Every bit of what he gets.
Wholeheartedly.
You know, wholeheartedly.
If not, restore that man's career and let him be.
And let him be. Exactly. You know, so you know, we weren't there. We don't know the story. You got two sides, and then you got the
truth. It's always that way.
Right. It's three sides.
And these are just our opinions, folks. We don't know one way or the other. We're just speaking on how we feel about the situation.
Exactly. I was just shocked to see him in the news again, because I was like, you know, it's kind of quiet right now.
I would want to stay away from any headline. Any headlines, but you see how they squeeze it out. Oh, he's doing well with Megan amid his guilty verdict. What does that matter? She's by his side. Let her be by his side.
Right. And kudos, you know?
Absolutely.
Kudos.
You stand with somebody through adversity shows a lot. So don't make it a bad thing.
This is the month of love.
Indeed.
You know what I mean? It's the month of love, February. So yeah, man, moving on. Like I told you off air, I was hitting you up because, you know, to see if you went by the comic shop.
Yeah, I haven't been. I need to make that happen.
Because I was trying to get my hands on that Ultimate Black Panther #1.
Seems to be sold out.
Yes. So, you know, I've been hearing a lot about it, read the synopsis. I'm like, oh, this is cool because, you know, Marvel's restoring the new Ultimate Universe. Yeah, you know, Ultimate Universe has been gone since what, the Incursions?
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, so that, and you know, most of those characters ended up in 616, regular 616. So
Wolverine has a new stupid son in the Ultimate Universe. I saw it last night on Instagram. I'm looking forward to seeing what that character's about. They're always making all one-off children's of Wolverine, so I would like to see what happens.
Is this in the Ultimate Universe?
Yeah. So I don't know. I can't remember his name.
It's not Docking.
No, he's a whole nother person. He had a kid with, I'm mad I don't remember the exact details, but yeah, he had a child with, I can't remember exactly who it was, but you guys look that up and put that in the comments so we can revisit that. But Wolverine has a new son in the Ultimate Universe, and they said he's the dumbest one yet.
Oh,
that was how they labeled him.
A dumb Wolverine, huh?
So I could imagine how that's going to work out.
Yeah, that's crazy. So yeah, you know, like I said, Marvel, they restored the Ultimate Universe. So there's a lot of changes to certain characters. And yeah, Black Panther, Ultimate Black Panther #1 had dropped Wednesday, the 7th. It had dropped Wednesday the 7th. That's why I was trying to get a hold of you. I was like, maybe he's there. Because, you know, I normally go on Wednesdays, but you know,
new comic book day. You want to get there before everybody gets their hands on stuff.
Exactly.
I stopped going once I got a hold of, again, shout out to Doc's Basement. Once I got a hold of him, he started getting my stuff ahead of time.
And you're right. Yeah. And you call in and you're like, hey, such and such coming out one day. Hey, put one to the side for me. And it's already to the side.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Or you have a pull list.
Absolutely.
A pull list or a pull box.
Anything Deadpool or anything Deadpool adjacent, he'll literally just pull in and ask me, hey, you want to add it to the tab? And I'll pay him at the end of the week, and then he'll ship it. He's an awesome guy. He keeps me fresh.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So yeah, comicbook.com, they said Marvel's new Ultimate Universe reveals a change to a major player in the Black Panther franchise. Ultimate Black Panther is the newest installment in Marvel's rebooted Ultimate Universe, which promises to offer a different take on some of your favorite Marvel heroes and villains. For example, Ultimate Spider-Man features Peter Parker and Mary Jane as a married couple with kids.
Dope.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. We already know Ultimate Black Panther is introducing Ultimate Killmonger and Ultimate Storm as freedom fighters.
Ooh.
But the debut issue also going a step further by changing up the power dynamics in Wakanda.
That would be awesome to see. So that's how they'll work that out.
So that's interesting, man. Like I said, one of the things that I've read and came across as far as information with this, and spoilers, you know, for anybody who hasn't read it, you know what I mean? I haven't read it all the way yet. These are little footnotes that I came across or whatever. Like I said, I'm still trying to get my hands on it. Any of the hip hop Marvelites out there got a copy or extra copy?
Oh yeah, let us know.
Holla at your boy.
Sure.
For real. Holla at your boy. But yeah, some of the things I've heard was I heard Storm is with Killmonger, like they're a couple.
That's a crazy idea, but I mean,
yeah.
Look at how they moved along the MCU with T'Challa being dead, and then get a new T'Challa, and now we're getting the Young Avengers and the X-Men. So we still may see, the Storm and Black Panther connection at some point in time.
Exactly, and there's like a variant cover by Boss Logic. Shout out to Boss Logic.
He is dope.
He's super
He's
dope.
a dope individual.
Super dope. Shout out to Boss Logic, but there's a variant cover with Storm. Fire.
Indeed.
The cover is fire.
I could imagine.
She has like braids, like it looks like braid. It's fire.
Nice.
Has the lightning bolt earrings. Fire.
I'm gonna need you to superimpose that image when you edit this video. Put that thing right there so people can see it.
I surely will. I surely will.
Enjoy that, yeah.
But yeah, fire. So another thing I heard was Okoye is married to T'Challa. You know what I mean? So we all know the relationship
between them,
it was like a toss, especially in the
toss up, because you never really knew which direction he was going to go. Like, with what woman?
Yeah, Nakia,
Nakia
or Okoye. It's like which one?
Okoye was like his head of security, so to see that go from that to a relationship, that's a different dynamic. I'm sure they have to give us some backstory to that.
Exactly. So the article states, that Ultimate Black Panther #1 comes from the creative team of Brian Hill, Stefano Caselli, David Curiel, and VC's Corey Pettit.
Indeed.
Early on in the issue, we the quarters of T'Challa, the King of Wakanda. He isn't alone. However, as Okoye sleeps in a bed right next to his. Yeah. Oh well, that was one of the images that I saw. I saw they had it was a big room, and they woke up in the morning, but they were in separate beds.
Interesting.
So I don't know
the full dynamic.
Right. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what that's about.
Has her protection gone to the point where she sleeps next to him? That's a deep deep dive. Okay.
It is, yeah. You know what I'm saying? It says, while they may not share a bed together, it's revealed that Okoye is T'Challa's queen and the former general of the Dora Milaje. Nothing else regarding the relationship is told to the reader.
It has to be something regal because they're all women. Their whole tribe is women. So I don't even know if they would.
But here
if she
it
would
is.
have sex with a man.
But here it is. It said, but the two beds could allude to this being more a marriage of necessity and not out of love.
Right. Yeah. I think that's all about bloodline and hierarchy.
Exactly.
I don't think they have any type of intimate relationship.
Yeah. It says perhaps they felt T'Challa couldn't properly lead Wakanda if he didn't have a queen by his side, hence the marriage to Okoye. So that makes it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and she's physically strong.
She's physically strong. Mentally, she's brave. She's definitely one you would have at your side.
Indeed.
As men, we know that. Yeah. We talked about it last episode when we talked about our spouses being out of town,
right,
and how we just felt helpless.
We don't know what to do with ourselves.
Right,
we pretend we want the free time, but it.
You know what I'm saying? Like
it doesn't really work out that way.
Yeah, like I like to think of myself as an alpha flight. You know what I'm saying? Alpha flight. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. When she was gone, man, that whole time. I didn't know what to do with myself, man. And see, strong women, they keep us grounded, man.
Indeed.
That phrase, what is it?
Behind every strong man,
yeah,
there's even stronger woman.
Yeah. And that stands true.
Fact. It is a fact. I was always great, and I always felt like I had potential, but it took me finding a great person to see my potential and to push me further than I could ever believe that I was able to go.
Exactly. I would say some of the most powerful men, period, whether it be, in politics, entertainment.
Indeed.
So on and so forth.
Always a solid woman.
Civil rights, civil matters.
Mm-hmm.
You got Betty Shabazz and you have Coretta.
People like those, indeed.
Exactly. This is what Jonathan Majors going back.
He was trying.
This is what he was praying for. This is what he was trying to get out of little old what's her name, white lady,
Snow Bunny. Yeah. He was trying to get some chocolate out of the milk container, and it just wasn't working.
Right. So, but yeah, going back to the dynamic, you want someone like Okoye. She's strong.
Yeah.
So yeah, that may, like you said, that may play a part in the separate beds. It's like, okay, we're doing this for the people's sake. We're doing this for we're doing this in a righteous way.
It's more of a business arrangement more than
yeah, exactly. More of a business arrangement more than like a relationship, love.
They have love for each other, but that's just
right.
the love of their people and what they have together. Yeah, I understand.
Exactly.
That's a dope dynamic though, but strange at the same time.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy. It says, when T'Challa corrects Okoye after she calls him my king, he corrects her and tells her that they don't have to worry about such pleasantries in his quarters, calling them equals.
Indeed. That's definitely a business arrangement.
Yeah, and not in tradition. This is what Okoye said. And he said, not in the eyes of the people. You are a king. I'm your wife, and I serve your throne. This is what she's telling. So it's like, nah.
She wants the optics, but yeah.
They're both being modest. It's like, no, you're my king. No. Nah. I know you strong. You know what I mean? It's that whole, I see this conversation a lot, especially when it comes to relationships online, the whole 50-50 thing and, who puts in what.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? But it's sort of along the lines of that. It's like, nah.
It took a while for my wife to fully understand that I don't believe in gender roles. I do in certain aspects. I don't let any of the females in my house take out trash. My wife and my daughter will not take out trash. I do not allow it. It's not that they won't because they ask. I don't allow it.
Exactly.
I just don't think that the women in my life should have to handle rubbish. That's just how I feel.
Right. Same here. They're
tasks that need to be done on a daily basis. Sometimes I get to do them. Sometimes she gets to do them. That's literally
and that's
it.
the basic. And that's the basis. And the crazy part about it is, the dynamic my wife and I have is, it's like we subconsciously know when we have to step up. When we have to step up, we subconsciously know that. Like it's like, all right, well, I know I gotta pull my weight. Let me, without it goes without saying.
You can we can communicate without saying a word, and when you need to supplement the things that she can't or aren't able to do in that time. Just is what it is. We have a day to day, and we're partners. And some days she does more, some days I do more, and there's no competition in that.
Yeah, no, it's no competition at all, and it's more along the lines of. Like I said, it's like, what time to step up. When to be the it person in the relationship at that,
when
that
to
particular
step up,
time.
When to step back to allow her
in that particular
thing.
time. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, there's no, but like you said, yeah, I don't trash. It's certain things, like if something's, broke around the house, something fucked up, I'm fixing it.
Yeah, that's on me. That's on me.
Anything dealing with any type of tools, that's me.
And it's not that she can't, because she fully can. She's fully capable.
Right,
but
right.
Why even have her do that when I can get it done?
Right.
That's just what it is.
Exactly. So, we know when to step up. So I get the dynamic between Okoye and T'Challa. It's just like they're giving each other praise, and it's like, all right, one of us gonna have to say something more. Like you don't want it to go too
far. You can't ping pong this too much. All right, you got it.
You got it. Yeah, yeah. You know what I mean. So, but yeah, that's just the gist of it. So, well, as far as that relationship,
right? So,
I was another thing I had looked up as far as like the synopsis of this issue is that there's it's a war between Wakanda and Moon Knight. They brought Khonshu and Ra into the fold. They make up Moon Knight.
That means we have to have some type of battle in the ancestral plane, because Khonshu and Ra, they're the avatars for the ones that actually end up with the powers like Moon Knight, because Khonshu gives Moon Knight his powers.
Exactly.
Khonshu doesn't actually deal with the people directly, so I would like to see how that plays out.
Exactly. So you know, they bring them into the fold, and it's just pretty much, you know, and I'm not spoiling the story because like I said, I still have to read.
Right.
I'm just going by, like I said, little footnotes that I caught here and there. So I'm not.
Yeah, if it's in the synopsis, you didn't spoil it. It's already out there.
Right. And it's not. I couldn't even tell you the story if I knew. Right. I mean, because I don't know. But yeah, man. If you haven't, go out and get this issue.
And if you have an extra,
please
contact us.
Yes, please contact us because I've been looking for that. Like I said, I thought, Jig was going to be at the comic book shop.
Nah, I'm gonna get back to going.
Thought he was gonna be able to alley-oop that shit to me, like, "Hey, yo, here it is." Like, "Yo, okay, bet."
I'm gonna see what Doc has. I'm sure Doc probably has a couple. We'll check them out.
Nigga, we owe Doc a visit.
Yeah, indeed.
We owe Doc. Look, when I say I got an appointment with the Doc,
right?
Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Me a doctor.
When I say I got an appointment with the Doc, y'all know who I'm talking about. So, yeah, man. Moving on.
Indeed.
We were talking about earlier, Disney Plus making some major changes as far as the timeline is concerned.
Indeed.
And like I said, I think this is fire the way they did this. So in case you didn't know, or in case you do know and you've been on Disney Plus lately, before they had the chronological timeline
for the shows
and the movies for the MCU.
They've separated it so far where their timeline, the seasons, to where you can get all of the story in chronological order. And that's really good for people who haven't experienced the MCU in its full entirety. I mean, it's over a decade of content. So, it's a lot to take in. But with them having it in order, it'll make it a lot easier to digest for a new MCUer in the game.
Exactly. So, yeah, they pretty much, they added each season, not just the shows. So like the particular, because, some seasons happen before certain movies and so on and so forth.
Certain major canon events.
Canon events. I know that happened a lot with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Right.
A lot of the movies, in particular, what was it, Age of Ultron?
Mm-hmm. I mean, even Hawkeye, it happened for him. He was going through things about the before and after the snap. So it's a slippery slope. So watching a lot of those, you guys should go back and start over. Even if you have watched them, seeing some of those again for the first time, you catch so many small tidbits you didn't catch the first time. It's a lot of small details you can see again that you haven't seen for the last time you watched it.
Exactly, and to add to that, just to see it in order.
Yeah.
It's
going to change the way you take it in because it's like, oh wow, that's from that. It's a lot of 2 and 2s that can go together when you watch it in order.
That's the whole point too. Like the connectivity.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big seller for them.
Having the continuity actually happen and you being able to see it and comprehend it. That's a dope thing.
Yeah. For new people, it's a good way you can have them jump on at a certain point, or start from the beginning. It's great when it comes to the whole timeline aspect of it,
right?
So I think that's dope. Like I said, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was the Defenders verse.
Yeah, indeed.
A lot of that is sprinkled in. So basically, that's what they did. They broke it down and just sprinkled each season in between. Certain events.
It makes it really fun.
Yeah, even the little one shots. Everything is
everything
in order.
Matters, man. It does, and there's a lot of small characters that mean so much that people don't give respect to, like Agent Wu. I like that guy. He's funny. You need him, and then the Puerto Rican guy from Ant-Man,
the one that talks a lot, that tells the stories.
You need those guys. Like, they're important. They're small characters. No, they're not superheroes. Like Kat Dennings.
Oh, I love her. Yeah,
I love Kat Dennings.
Yes,
she's important. She made WandaVision what it was, in my opinion.
Yeah, WandaVision and the Thor franchise.
Oh, yeah.
And it, you know what, that's an idea in itself. I think they talked about
doing that, having them narrate certain stories,
or having like a show with Agent Wu, or it was suggested by the fans or something like that. I think
it would be watched. I firmly believe that.
Oh yeah, I think they should take all those characters and put him and fit him in a story some way.
Right. That's what they tried to do for DC with Damage Control.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They try to fit all.
They'll just extra characters and things like that. It's crazy how it works out.
But Marvel, the characters in Marvel is so, there's so many that you can do something like that.
Mm-hmm. Just randomly.
Yeah.
There's a lot of little content that they could have that would be on a smaller scale that wouldn't be so easy to critique like the big ones.
Exactly. Even like with Rosario Dawson's night nurse character, they could have. Yeah, you forgot about stuff like that.
We talked about that, man. Me and my wife talked about with Iron Fist. There's so many different things that they could have explored with those small characters that would have worked.
Yeah, night nurse show where she just like fixing up superheroes. It's like in the comics.
They wanted small shows with big characters and wonder why it didn't truly connect, because you're trying to fit this giant package in a small space, man. Give us small characters, small tidbits, and it work out the way you were looking.
There's a lot of little characters. My man from Jessica Jones. I forget his name.
Talking about the villain or her friend?
No, the junkie guy.
Yes.
Yeah, I forget his name.
Yeah,
but
me as well. But at the same time, again, it's another small character that you could pivot on that would add so many small pieces of story that you can then compound on later.
Luke Cage had a lot of them. My homeboy on the corner selling bootlegs.
Bootlegs, absolutely. Not to mention that, they gave us a bit of Jessica Jones and Luke Cage's relationship. Why not get her pregnant? Why not have the baby? You don't even have to show us the baby. You can give us Squirrel Girl. In the comics, that was their babysitter. Give us a little bit of Squirrel Girl. Then Squirrel Girl ties right into Deadpool.
Mm-hmm. There it is.
Everything ties into Deadpool. You already know how I feel about that. Everything.
I knew that was coming.
Everything ties into Deadpool.
Yeah. All Deadpool, everything. But yeah, like I said, I think this is a great addition to Disney Plus.
I agree.
And I noticed not too long ago they got Hulu at the end, which is dope.
Yeah, because everybody doesn't go back and forth, and you have some people that will watch Disney shows, but doesn't want to watch them on Disney Plus, so they give you a few of them on Hulu just so you can feel like you're not a full kid.
Exactly.
Listen. Thank you, Disney. I appreciate you.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So, that, like I said, great idea from the folks over at Marvel and Disney. And yeah, like I'm into.
Speaking of Marvel, The Marvels is on Disney Plus, and I need you guys to go and look at The Marvels. Social medias. I want you to see the transition from the critics' review on the movie and the people who actually watched it.
Oh,
they hate baited that movie. Now everybody that actually saw it on Disney Plus is like,
wow,
why didn't I go and see it? Why did I listen to people? You need to stop. Majority of the projects that flop is because they paid for it to flop.
Yeah.
These projects are great. And again, they're comic book stories. If you don't like the comics, don't look at them, just like you won't read them. It's that easy.
But, and we touched on this a little bit too. You do know why.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the MCU. It's the MCU. Nobody wants to see powerful women on the screen.
It's crazy.
It's a crock of shit.
And y'all asked for these y'all begged for these characters. And then it's like, okay, we want Captain Marvel. Now they're mad because the way she showed up, she punched through the ship and then she fought Thanos. That's how she showed up. Then they explained why she was gone. You wanted to know why she was gone. They explained that. You guys were mad at that too. What do you really want?
What don't they want?
Indeed.
What don't they want? That's the whole issue.
You want a certain type of representation so you can feel like you're powerful, like what you see. But at the same time, there are hundreds of characters. So there are going to be different shows and different movies with those different characters. I'll take a She-Hulk twerking any day. Any day.
I will say this, my wife, she isn't the biggest Marvel fan.
Mm-hmm.
And I just say that because she doesn't know too much. And I enjoy teaching her, right?
Absolutely.
There are certain movies or shows that come out that she gravitates towards.
Right.
Like without
you.
Without my influence.
I understand.
Like I don't even have to, influence her to.
That's how it was with Echo. She would, hey, you ready to watch Echo? coming upstairs so we can watch Echo. You know, certain ones she wants to watch, and I don't have to say, hey, do you want to watch such and such? And she's like, oh, okay. No, she enjoys some of those shows on their own merits for sure.
Exactly. That's that's how it is. So with that, you know, she loves the Black Panther movies. She loves what else did we watch? Like I said, she loves the Marvel, Captain Marvel.
Nice. You said she liked Luke Cage.
Luke Cage, yeah, Luke Cage. It's just certain shows. Miss Marvel.
I enjoyed the hell. That was a fun show.
Yes.
That was fun. That was fun.
And she was such a delight. Iman Vellani.
Yeah, she's so dope.
She's such a delight.
She's smart. She's a Marvel nerd. You guys need to keep her around.
Exactly.
She knows what she's doing. She wrote.
Yeah, she wrote for Marvel. She has a issue of Miss Marvel.
She knows what she's doing.
Yeah. But yeah, she's such a delight on screen.
Yeah.
She was a delight in the Marvels movie. My wife loved it. And then
I'm gonna watch that today.
And now I'm getting my wife into watching WandaVision thanks to Monica Rambeau.
I showed her one episode. I showed my wife one episode of WandaVision, and she finished it in about 2 days. Yeah, she truly enjoyed WandaVision.
Yeah,
that was a dope show.
Thanks to Monica Rambeau and seeing her in the Marvels, my wife is like, okay, who is that?
Yeah.
Now I know Captain Marvel and I know Miss Marvel, but who is this? Right. And she's she's a sister too,
right?
And she's powerful like that, like
Omega level,
right? She's dope. Like, hold up. So it's things like that, that, kind of attracts her to, like, and like I said, she would just see these movies and say, oh, I want to check that out. Yeah. And I love that. I totally love that because now it's like, all right, you don't have my influence on it.
You don't have to try to coerce her into it or bribe her to see it. She's already ready. It's dope.
But then again, it goes back to the chronological order thing. So it's like,
easier to ingest.
So, and she remembers certain things.
Nice.
Oh, that was in this over here.
Right.
And I'm like, babe, what you fail to realize too, this over here goes to this. And this goes with it, and it just continues. You know what I mean?
When you see that light bulb come on, it's such a good feeling because like they're getting it. They're getting it. It's a fun thing, man. Especially when you know that's your partner and you giving them a tidbit of the things that you enjoy, and they're actually taking it in and enjoying it as well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So like I said, I enjoy watching those shows and movies with my wife, and like I said, this episode is about love. It's Valentine's Day. You know what I mean?
That's all we got.
This next piece of information, I should say, and you guys already know, but my wife and I talked about this right after it happened. But that's Jay-Z, calling out the Recording Academy,
standing up for his wife,
10
toes deep.
That's what I'm saying.
It doesn't make sense for her to have the most Grammys and never win Album of the Year. How can you nominate my work for so many awards but not be the best?
Exactly.
And then it came out that the Academy actually said, word for word, the reasons we don't vote for people like Viola Davis and Beyonce is because they win too much. Word for word. That's their quote. We don't vote for people like them because they win too much.
That's a y'all problem.
That is a y'all. Okay, another example.
That's like telling me to not be great.
Simone Biles. And then there's another young African-American young lady who's a gymnast. And she has a skill set that she uses in her performance that they banned because no one else could do it. And the trick was so difficult that it almost guaranteed all 10s. They told her she was cheating because it's not an even playing field. No, you can't limit my greatness. You don't tell me I can't do it because no one else can do it. Hey, I did it.
Yeah, I did it. That's like you're telling me to lessen my greatness.
That's
like
literally what they told her to do. You're doing too well.
Tell me to be mediocre?
Yeah, they want us to relish in our mediocrity. They want us to be okay with having a piece of something that the whole thing is ours in the first place.
Exactly, man. Like it's crazy. And so, Jay-Z, he had his acceptance speech for the Dr. Dre Global Impact Award at the Grammys. I thought it was dope. He brought up Blue, and goodness, she's about his height, ain't she?
She's towering over that man, and I love how he loves his family. You have those conspiracy theories and those different stories about these people, but the optics on what we see.
Exactly.
he seems to care for his family, and again, he's one of my goats.
Yeah.
And for him to speak out the way he did, right in front of everyone, you know,
like he read the Grammys at the Grammys. He pulled a Kanye for
some of y'all got robbed in y'all categories. Some of y'all don't even belong in them categories.
Like
that's that you can't be any more truer. And he said it to those people's faces, and I appreciated that more than anything.
He said, "I'm nervous, and I get nervous. I tell the truth."
It just is what it is, and that's appreciated because the whole system in itself. I don't want to go too far on Killer Mike because I named that one of my top albums, but at the same time, the way it went down seems a little fishy to me.
Yeah,
it seemed like an optic. It seemed like he wanted to have himself look like a martyr. I got carried out by the police, and if you read the notes, it said a citizen's arrest. It literally said citizens arrest, but they look like police. So I believe that was an orchestration.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. And we'll get into that. You know what I'm saying? But
we'll do that on the next episode. But just the Grammys in itself, Jay-Z, I appreciate you, sir, for standing up for your wife in the midst of all of those people in control.
I like the way he did it too. He said,
I don't want to embarrass this young lady.
This young lady, I don't want to embarrass her. And she was in the crowd like, hey, don't you do it.
You see her trying to keep the straight face too.
Like, Jay, don't you do it.
And
don't
he did it anyway.
But she was satisfied though.
And she has to be, knowing that him being him and saying what he said in front of the people who's in control of those things, you got to be a little bit satisfied. You got to have a little smirk under there for that.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Stand up for yourself because that's important.
Most definitely. Like what? Like come on, man. He said, he quoted, "We love y'all. We want y'all to get it right." And I mean, and it wasn't like he was just like totally dissing the Grammys.
No, he spoke the truth, and that hurts a lot of times for people.
Right, and he even went back as far as DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince winning the first hip hop Grammy. And, boycotting it from their hotel room because they didn't televise it.
Right. And we didn't get it. Most of the hip hop awards didn't even get televised this year. And they chose not to.
Right.
Like they chose not to show it on purpose.
Yeah. So it's like, you can't expect us to be showing up to these things
but they showed Mike getting arrested. They showed that. I mean, with no impunity. They showed all of it. They even showed him walking down the hallways backstage, but
exactly,
they didn't show us winning awards.
And he pretty much stated, he was like, look, this woman is, if not the most decorated woman
just period.
Period.
Just in general.
Period. You know what I'm saying? And,
it's crazy.
And she did not once get Album of the Year. Not once.
I'm not going to beg for your acceptance because, my work speaks for itself.
He went up there and pretty much did a Kanye, man. Like, hey, look, I ain't going to hold you, but Beyonce.
She's the best. So y'all playing games.
For real, man. So, yeah, man, like, it's just crazy, man. I'm looking at some stats, and it says like no black woman has earned that award in 25 years.
Yeah. What was the one?
It's the Album of the Year category for a highly acclaimed project.
Who was the one that won it 25 years ago?
Oh,
right.
Yeah,
that's a crazy idea. 25 years, and you got to think most of the generation and the most important people right now are in between that age group, so they won't even know.
No, yeah.
So for them, it never happened.
Exactly. So, it just goes. Hopefully, they get it right. I will say,
I don't think so. They have no incentive to get it right.
That's why I said hopefully.
Yeah, they have no incentive to change anything. I'm
putting hope out there. That's why I said hopefully because it's. I don't know.
We had the Soul Train Awards, but they stained that so much with violence and just niggerdom. It I don't know, man. It's crazy.
It's crazy because the Grammys, okay, the 50th hip hop, the 50th year of hip hop, right? That was, celebrated last year and everything.
Kind of.
Yeah,
that's crazy. You feel the same way.
To a degree. And we talked about certain things that they lacked and stuff like that. But the Grammys, I think they did a pretty decent job with it.
Yeah.
So to go from that to like not really like televising,
so you don't get the awards, but I'll let you perform.
The hip hop, it doesn't make sense to me. So there's a lot of, shit that the Grammys have to shovel.
Indeed.
So maybe in time, they'll shovel it up. But yeah.
And hip hop is kind of the biggest genre there is. So it's like if you show that, it kind of makes the Grammys a hip hop show. And I think they want to do their best to not make it look like a black production.
Right. But I will say though, this Grammys normally when I watch the Grammys, I'm like, I'm only tuning into certain
They
people.
did a good job of making the whole show watchable.
This year.
I will
This
say
year.
that.
This
I
year,
agree.
yes. This year, I was like, all right, I could tolerate it because even some of the older acts or whatever they brought, I'm like, okay, I'm
very well produced.
Yeah,
Indeed.
I'm like, I'm an 80s baby, so, they brought out Annie Lennox. She did Sinead O'Connor's tribute, Stevie.
I was about to say, and then it was so nostalgic with some of those old
Billy
performances.
Joel and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Even if we don't listen to them, it took you back to those days and those
Tracy
times.
Chapman.
Yeah,
It was great to see Tracy Chapman. And she looks, like what skin cream does she use? Number one, like
she has to be
or whose
subscribing
blood,
to the adrenochrome,
or whose blood is she drinking?
Indeed.
Like one of the two.
She has to have a stern collection of babies.
Right.
She looks crazy for the age that she is.
Right. You know what I mean? So I thought that was dope. But like you said, it was watchable
the whole way through. I agree.
Start to finish.
I 100%.
So they got that part good.
Yeah.
They got that part right. Now we need to work on the behind the scenes shit. So.
We also need to have more tolerable black acts. Most of the stuff is so vulgar it can't be shown in that kind of TV, and that's not all the Grammys' fault.
Exactly.
We don't have a large list of Coco Jones type women. Most of them are coming there to show their booty hole. So, at the same time, that limits the amount of acts that we, as a community can have. So, we have a Money Long, we have, Coco Jones, Victoria Monet. Again, I play that song every morning. On my mama, on my hood. I look fly, I look good. And even when I don't, hearing the song makes me feel that way.
It's just an affirmation.
It is, man. I appreciate that song so much, that young lady. And I'm old, and so I'm not really up on a lot of this new stuff. So certain songs when they click, they do.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that song, that young lady.
Yeah, that was a great win she got there too. So, but yeah, in a nutshell, man, what we learned from this is, number one, if you have a wife or significant other out there, is always dope. Is stand on business and stick up for your partner.
You'll never be wrong standing up for yours ever.
Hey,
ever.
The Oscars heard the slap around the world.
Keep my wife's name.
But look, standing.
He was wrong, but he was right at the same time.
Standing on business.
That's like, what it is. That's my wife, bro. I'll say that later.
Hey, I haven't heard a Jada joke since.
Not one bit. Not from anybody. I mean, that week after, people played on the jokes, but they stopped. They stopped because Will Smith's a big dude.
Slap her around the world.
It was heard around the world too.
You know what I mean? So, but yeah, we're gonna take this time to go to our sponsor. And we'll be right back after this. This is Hip Hop Marvels Podcast. Your friendly neighborhood plug for all things hip hop.
See you in a second.
Where we got it locked from the block to the comic shop. Serving the University of North Carolina students and staff for almost 20 years, Alpine Bagel Cafe has a variety of bagels, sandwiches, and beverages to satisfy even the hungriest test taker, athlete, or hardworking staff member. Dedicated to providing fast and delicious breakfast options all day, with a full menu starting at 7:30 a.m. Alpine Bagel Cafe, University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. Tell them Hip Hop Marvel sent you. Big shout out to Operations Manager Kelly Carpenter and General Manager Jason Carpenter.
What's good? It's your player upon the 2 Chainz, you feel me? In the building. Money all the way to the ceiling.
Hey, yo, what up, everybody? This is Star Home.
Yo, this is Trackstar, the DJ.
Hey, yo, what's up? Black Shaman, let your constantly scream, get down to the sound of PMD. This is Paris Smith, legendary rapper, PMD.
Rocking with Precise Politics.
Yo, what up? This is DJ Eclipse.
Hello, everybody. This is Jonathan Duval.
It's your boy, Sheik Luch. D-Block, all day silverback gorillas.
What's good, people? This is Eternally MC.
What's up? This your boy Wyclef Jean, a.k.a. Spider-Man. You already know I'm a superhero. What makes me a superhero? Come on. Hip-Hop Marvel.
This is Hip-Hop Marvel.
We are live at Hip-Hop Marvel. So you know how we do all the things all the time. This is where the superheroes reside. You know what I'm saying?
Hip-Hop Marvel's podcast. Keep tuned in, because they couldn't have bridged together a better gap. All right?
Hip-Hop Marvel's podcast. I'm over here marveling at all these dope sounds.
That's the chill. Hip-Hop Marvel.
Right now I'm checking out Hip-Hop Marvel's podcast, available wherever dope podcasts are streamed.
Right now you checking out Hip-Hop Marvel's podcast.
Keep blazing that shit and all that.
Feel me? You're tuning to the
Hip-Hop Marvel's podcast.
You on that?
Your friendly neighborhood plug for all things hip-hop and Marvel.
2 Chainz Radio.
And we're back. Hip Hop Marvel's podcast, your friendly neighborhood plug for all things hip hop and Marvel, where we got it locked from the block to the comic shop.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? This is episode 45.
Can I say I love that line?
What?
Yeah, I remember the first time I heard it. I effing love that line. We got it locked from the block to the comic shop. I think that's stellar, bro.
I could tell you where I came up with that phrase too.
Please do.
So it was around. It's like 2010. And I was working on the last installment of the Hip Hop Doctrine series, the official mixtape for the Boondocks.
Yes.
Animated series. And
I have them saved on my TV. I play them while I'm watching the game, while I'm playing the game.
That's what's up. I appreciate that. It's one of my critically acclaimed mixtapes. It's crazy. I was watching a Boondocks marathon yesterday, my wife and I, and we were watching the Stink Meaner episode. Shit. It's crazy.
Nigga.
Yeah, when he fought Granddad and shit. Yo, bitch, nigga.
Yeah.
Yeah, so but
that was a great show.
Yeah, oh yeah, most definitely. But so I was working on volume 3 of that series, and Killer Mike had hosted, David Banner had hosted, and Asheru. Asheru was responsible for the theme song of
Understood.
And I was writing out the drop scripts. And one drop script in particular, I think I sent it to Killer Mike. And I wanted him to say something clever. So shout out to Wally Sparks, my brother. We had to do mixtape together.
Indeed.
And I wanted, him Killer Mike to say something clever. So, it was like, yeah, such and such, I'm in here with Wally Sparks and Dub Floyd. And they got it locked from the block to the Boondocks. Right? And if you listen to Volume 3, Hip Hop Marvelites, if you listen to Volume 3, you'll hear it's either Killer Mike or it's Killer Mike. I thought it was David Banner, but it's Killer Mike. He says they got it locked from the block to the Boondocks. So that's how that started off. So then fast forward, when I started conjuring up this idea for Hip Hop Marvels as a movement and a podcast,
right?
I wanted a catchy phrase.
Okay.
So I'm like, they got it locked from the block to the comic shop.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
I just substituted Boondocks in for, comic shop.
It's a perfect segue for Hip Hop Marvels, because hip hop is started on the block. And where else will you get Marvel but the comic shop?
Right. So it's
I love it.
Yeah, hip hop started from the streets on the block. Yeah, like you said.
Yeah.
And then
it's just a wonderful correlation. It's simple, but to me, I think
it sums up hip hop Marvels in a nutshell. Anyway, because 100%. It's like we span from the block, from the streets.
Yep.
From reality,
indeed,
to
the comic shop, which
to your imagination,
absolutely,
which basically breaks down.
You know what I'm saying?
what
I was going to say. I love it. I just wanted to give that some shout out. I love it.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I appreciate that. But yeah, you know what time it is?
Oh yeah.
Yes, y'all. And you don't stop. So yeah, man, Lil Wayne, you know, they sat down and asked Lil Wayne what it would take to get this Hot Boys reunion going. Because, you know, we mentioned this before.
Right.
We would love to see it. This is we talked about it when BG had gotten out of, you know,
in his jail, and he had that new song, and it's crazy because what's saying now is they're just waiting on BG, but and what I heard is that was the reason BG called Wayne out in the first place, because he was already ready to do the tour and Wayne was dragging his feet. So I'm a little confused on who's actually in the waiting.
Right. And you know, to Wayne's defense, I kind of agree with him a little bit, you know, because he was on the YG's 400 podcast.
Understood.
And he pretty much stated that they spoken about it a few times. You know, BG coming home, you know, he got to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Right. And, you know, he has certain situations that he has to deal with. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You put together a tour, you're going places. He's probably still on papers. So they would have to straighten out his travel plans and his permissions. And I get that. And why put all your eggs in one basket when you already know there's limitations on it?
Right.
I get that.
And, you know, they asked him, because he said Juvie ready, Turk ready. They got to see if Jeezy ready. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, he was like, they asked him, it was like, is that the only piece to the puzzle?
Right.
He was like, yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not slowing shit up.
I can't see anybody being mad with a Hot Boys reunion. Anybody with any kind of nostalgia or hip hop fandom,
bro.
I would be there for that,
bro.
That just takes me back 2000s, man. Cash Money taking over for
99 and 2000s.
That was an epic time in history for music. Between them and Cash Money battle and that State Property Rockefeller run. We had a lot of great music, man. It was so much out there. Mixtapes were running everything, man. There was so much good content to be ingested, and now it's like these artists aren't being developed at all, man. And they're just putting them out there, giving them millions of dollars, and making them owe the studios after the fact. And you don't hear from them anymore.
Exactly.
That's why all of the awards that were won this year in hip hop, the age range was 33 to 48. All of those writers, songwriters, performers, rappers, singers, they were in between 33 and 48.
Timeless music.
So for you to say this is a young man's game, it's not.
Timeless music.
Nah.
They were. I just seen an article not too long ago, and I know it's off of hip hop a little bit, but and this is going back to the Grammys. You know, Burna Boy bought Brandy out,
right?
And they said this dude was like 7, 8, 9 years old,
right,
when Sitting on Top of the World came out.
Yep.
And here we are in 2024. He's performing that on stage.
Yep.
Timeless music. Timeless music. You don't get that without timeless music.
Not one bit. And what I do appreciate is some of those young artists that have since, when they're using these samples and they're tapping the artists that they got the sample from. That's an easy way to build nostalgia, because
exactly,
you sample the beat and then it comes on. It's like, oh, a person like me thinking I'm getting the original version and the other one comes on. But then say the new version comes on and then I still get that old artist. I may still follow. Well, you have certain people my age that will cut it off instantly because it's a new artist.
Right.
Yeah. That taste freeze is real. Once you get to a certain age, it's really hard to ingest new items.
Yeah, you're right.
It's really hard to stomach a lot of this new stuff.
You're right. That's why you have like a lot of, and we're going to talk about it, a little bit later, but a lot of legacy acts are doing residencies and stuff now.
Indeed.
They trust me, they have that demographic. They have us already.
100%.
They put in the work to have us already.
Yep. And not to mention a catalog to be able to do that. Most of these people, you can't give them a show or a tour because they only have 4 songs.
And that's why, they're cutting their longevity short.
Absolutely.
You got the bag now.
Right.
But
you're gonna perform that same song for 20 years?
It's gonna come a time to where the well gonna run dry.
Yep.
And then your publicist or your manager is going to be looking for other things for you to do.
Absolutely.
They're gonna be like,
now you're wondering why you want Love and Hip Hop.
They're gonna
or you want Fear Factor eating cow balls and bugs and stuff like that, trying to get a check because nobody wants to hear your music.
Right. You know, and they're like, damn, well, we can't get him or her a residency because they only got about 4 slaps. That's
Absolutely.
it. Like, I mean, that's not even an hour show, really.
No. I mean, what, 3 minutes, 30 seconds to a song? You know,
yeah.
You might get it. You might get 30 minutes out of it.
You know, so it's like, you know, the longevity game is,
indeed.
I'm thankful for artists that I've grown up with that played the longevity game.
Right.
It's okay to chase the bag. It's okay to get to that money. But at the same time, what do you want for your career? What do you want for your career? Because if you really take it seriously, you will put longevity first. You know what I mean? And that's just really making timeless music, you know? Just really making timeless music.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know, as far as this Wayne and you know Hot Boys reunion, I hope they come to an agreement.
I do too.
And because I'll be on the first thing smoking to any one of these. Hopefully, you know, they come to the surrounding area.
Just leave out all the Baby's verses. I'm gonna put some respect on his name, but leave out every single one of his verses, every song, and we'll be okay. I don't need it. My man, we don't talk. We curse, but
nah, you can't do that though. Look, I'm not gonna let you.
My man said I like to fuck him in the ass while he beat up the pussy.
Wait a minute.
That means that at some point, them dangles are touching. And he's okay. He said he likes that. That was his favorite part of the encounter. You know what I'm saying? So,
boss,
baby, what's up, bro?
No, but look, I ain't gonna let you do it because I think his verse on Bling Bling was spoken word. Every time I hear Bling Bling, it's spoken word, and I say that in a great way because if you listen to his verse on Bling Bling, it's like he's just talking to you.
I agree.
He's stunting.
Yeah.
He's stunting on you.
Right. And it wasn't even about giving you no rhymes. He's like, you gonna hear what I gotta say. And
he's like, look, my Rolex is platinum plus. My hoes be, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He just was just talking.
My diamond's trillion cut.
He was just talking to you. He was talking.
I'm gonna be honest though, back then his delivery was acceptable because it wasn't nobody really stunting like him. He was literally
he was the number one
stunner. And I back then I can't say that I wasn't a fan back then. That would just be a lie. Because back then it was still the shock value to everything that they were doing. But it's like over time. I mean, it's kind of like Biggie's line, you know, girl looks so good, I suck on your daddy's dick. What?
Yeah.
Well, they let them get away with these kind of things. What is it? Timbaland and Magoo. He said, I stays in the cut like gay niggas in butt. What? All right, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm done.
No, I feel you, man. But yeah, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Gap teeth in your mouth so my dick's got to fit. That means you thought about that, bro. That means you sized that man's mouth up while you were staring at him, Snoop. You literally were contemplating your man part in that man's mouth. Some stuff shouldn't be said.
Oh my goodness.
Some stuff shouldn't be said.
Oh man.
I still love y'all.
Right. It's all about love. This
it
episode.
Is. It truly is.
All about love. This episode.
Just observational commentary, guys.
Right.
That's it.
Right. All about love, man. So, but yeah, you know, and speaking of Birdman, he was, he's speaking on the reunion.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, like I said, hopefully everything comes together because that's
a sold out tour.
Right.
I really feel like that's a sold out tour.
No Limit did it.
Yeah.
They had a little run with the No Limit tour.
Just off Back That Ass Up.
What?
Just that song alone, the whole stadium is rocking. Because at that LL concert, when Juvenile came out and he did that song, the floor was shaking. There was not one person still.
And then they're gonna do like individual joints.
They're going to slide through the individual hits. But I mean, Hot Boys alone, every single one of their songs, it turns a party up.
You know, Juvenile gonna perform the #1 affirmation song, which is Ha.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're a paper chaser.
Yeah.
Got your
first song full of questions. That was the first 21 questions.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So he's gonna perform that. I'm looking for Cash Money is an army nigga, a Navy nigga. So if you ever try to harm a nigga, any grieving nigga,
that was a great time in music.
Yeah,
we
man.
need that. We need all of that. And it's crazy because they're down south guys, but they still have more lyrics than most of the stuff that we have now. So
yeah,
it's crazy.
They were ahead of their time too, man.
Indeed.
They made white tees.
Oh yeah.
The shit to wear.
Yeah.
You felt and looked like $1 billion with a crispy white tee on.
Even if it was 6 times
and
too large.
a pair of oversized Jabos.
Oh yeah, Jabot jeans.
And
They had the world on lock.
Look, and some Reeboks. That was their uniform.
Yeah.
They always talked about Reeboks
and
Jabot jeans and a white tee with a damn bandana on.
Oh yeah,
that was it. And the infamous Cash Money $ chain. You
1998 to 2001, Jabot jeans had me in a chokehold. I mean that and Wallabies. I mean I had maybe 20 different color Wallabies.
Man,
it was crazy back then. I missed those.
I was Jabot out too, to the point to where people said, yo, every time I came on the scene, they was like, nigga, you out of pocket with all them pockets.
All them pockets, indeed. and mind you, I had something in every pocket. Every pocket.
Like a damn early Image character.
Indeed. And it's crazy, Rob Liefeld, Mr. Pouch. And it's crazy you said that because I was getting ready to say that. And I love the fact that he knew where to go with that. He has a character that's literally all pouches.
What's his name? Kangaroo, nigga? Like,
his name is Pouch. It's the Pouch.
The Pouch.
He loves pouches. And if you look at Deadpool, most of his costumes has random pouches.
I mean,
everywhere. Like they're everywhere. And,
Yeah.
and that's a funny little correlation. I appreciate that.
Yeah, shout out to Jabot. I don't know, man. Rob Liefeld could actually have an endorsement from them niggas. Like,
probably,
you know what I'm saying?
Probably.
The new Deadpool Jabots and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Super cargos.
The cable or what's my man? Shatterstar.
Shatterstar, indeed.
The Shatterstar.
Zeitgeist.
The Shatterstars. You know what I'm saying? And that's actually one of my favorite Rob Liefeld characters too. I like
Shatterstar.
I like the fact he has those double blades.
You serious? Don't say no more.
What?
Nothing. I got you covered.
No, I just like the fact that he got those double blades, nigga. I never seen Rob Liefeld fuck me up when he did that.
I have a line into a lot of the Rob Liefeld characters. I just don't get them because I'm Deadpool.
Right.
But you like Shatterstar? Say no more.
Yeah. Shatterstar.
I got you.
My nigga. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
Yeah, it was just something about them double blades. I said, damn, this nigga slice you. You really fucked up.
Nice.
Like, you fucked up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
he gets a lot of hate.
Liefeld?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Either you're a fan of his, or honestly, it's the other way. They just hate his fucking guts.
No, you know what? I'm a fan of his, and I'm one of those ones who actually thinks his art style is unique.
It is. That's the hate that he gets.
But I will say, we know, the feet, hands things.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's more of the torsos. A lot of times his
that
chest
infamous
platings and
the infamous Captain America side torso shot where it's like
his rib cage and his torsos are a lot of times misaligned. But I don't think, and no one has ever caught on to the fact that that's his style of art and that's the way he does it. Even to the point of his faces and teeth. Majority of the characters almost look exactly the same.
Yeah, alike.
That's his art style.
But I like it because even like some of the earlier stuff in Image, like Prophet.
I have some. I'm gonna show you when we get
I had
done.
the first Prophet.
I have some foil variants of some Liefeld stuff. I'm gonna show you some of that when we get done.
Troll, which is a direct ripoff of Wolverine.
Indeed, indeed,
you know what I'm saying? So, but no, I like his shit. Even the run he had with Image, I want to say it was back in like 2012, 2013.
It was 2012, 2013 specifically, and that was the same.
It was the
year.
character. What was the name of the character? Because I had it. I when it came out.
You want the woman?
No, it's a guy. It was what is the name of this character? It's like when he came back out.
Bloodstrike.
No, I don't think it was.
You got Bloodstrike, Major X. Oh man, I'm gonna have to go through my box.
Yeah,
I literally have a box. Yeah, I don't want to do it on camera, but I do. Yeah. I'll show you.
Yeah.
We'll go through that because he has a lot of different characters that.
Yeah, but like I said, I respect him, and I mean, props to him for. I mean, without him, we wouldn't have Deadpool.
And that's crazy because there's beef going on right now between the quote unquote co-creators.
Co-creators of Deadpool.
There's another guy that doesn't get much attention named Fabian Nicieza. All right, now what's being said is that he introduced the mannerisms. You go to Rob Liefeld's page, he literally just posted it yesterday. There's beef going on between Rob and Fabian. Rob is saying that Fabian introduced zero to the character. He was just kind of got a participation award. And Rob's to the point now where he's kind of like, I'm not really having it anymore. And I'm saying exactly what happened. We haven't seen Fabian do any signings in quite some time. He's doing a tour now. His first one is in Rhode Island Comic-Con coming in November. And I'm hoping he does some before that. But
so let me ask you, as a Deadpool fan, are you siding like
I can't do that. I cannot.
So that's what I'm saying. So you giving both of them?
Well, I would like to meet the gentleman in person.
Right.
I had an opportunity to speak to Rob Liefeld in person. He gave me 45 minutes of uninterrupted conversation. And I have it on video. And I asked him personally about when he worked at Marvel. He gave me some really, really top secret information.
Wow.
I would like to hear it from Fabian. I would like to hear his side of the story personally and see exactly what. Because Rob's publicly saying that Fabian walked into the room when Deadpool was done. And he gets no credit. So I would have to hear it from the other side.
Wow. I mean, well, shout out to all parties, man.
Indeed.
I mean, either way, we got an amazing character.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Everyone involved.
One is pretty much like the cornerstone of Marvel as a whole.
I believe that,
and he's about to be the cornerstone of the MCU.
Yeah, I believe he's going to be the resident cameo like Stan Lee used to be. He's been a part of every team up in Marvel history, so you can just have him pop up in every single project you have for no random reason, talking to the screen and fucking shit up.
Yep. Perfect too. Perfect.
Yep.
But yeah, so moving on.
Back to the Grammys.
Yeah, back to the Grammys. Killer Mike. Clean sweep, man. That's all I can say.
The crazy part is he said he was going to do it. He did. He said it to Joe Budden. He said, I'm coming for the Grammys and I want them all.
Yeah.
Not many people can say that and make it happen. I don't want to be that guy that says a black person can't prosper without some type of conspiracy, but man, damn, Mike,
he did it. He damn sure did it.
To a T. He said exactly what he
to a T.
Get the broom, I'm taking them all. And he took them all. And then he got taken out as a martyr just to make his entire album look true.
I remember my whole timeline. It was like, yeah, he did it. You know what I mean? And then not even
10, 15 minutes later, it just changed.
Shout out to Keisha from Straight to Tape podcast. She had hit me up on Facebook and was like, yo, did you know they took him in?
She was the one who dropped the information on it.
Yeah. She was
shout
like,
out.
Yeah, shout out Keish. And we'll have her on the show too, like, cause she's, Straight to Tape, that's family.
Nice.
You know what I mean? But yeah, she was like, yeah, man, they took him, he got arrested. And I'm like, what? Like, what?
Just a strange part for me, strange part for me was that they called it a citizen's arrest.
Oh, so that's what it was, a citizen's arrest.
That's fishy to me.
That's crazy.
It was labeled a citizen's arrest.
That's crazy.
So I don't know exactly what that would be. They said it was for an assault, then they said it was for something else. So I need more detail on that.
It's to put a damper on his, already great moment.
I don't think it did that because if you listen to the album, it was all about type of situation. So I just think it made him look good.
Yeah. I don't think it did that. But it's that it doesn't take away from the fact that they were trying to
discredit what he just did. It's like, okay, black man, you can win all our awards, but guess what? We still gonna drag you out of here like the nigger you are.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man, clean sweep. His speech was great.
Yeah.
We talked about it was one of the top album. Matter of fact, was it the top album
for us? When we averaged it out, it came out as our average top album. 100%.
Yeah, exactly.
Out of the 5 of us, 4 of us had it at number 1, one had it at number 2, and another one had it at 3. So
that was the average. You know what I'm saying? It's awesome. I still bump it.
100%.
Awesome album. So to me, the awards, I should say, were merited.
You had some people saying that it didn't seem right because, like, okay,
we're going to get into
who's Killer Mike. Who puts on Killer Mike? You guys obviously don't listen because even outside of him just being Killer Mike, RTJ. If you play Grand Theft Auto, if you play Need for Speed, if you play Saints Row, Run the Jewels literally has at least 6 to 8 songs on each one of those games, especially Need for Speed.
But I'm gonna take it back even farther, right? So, you know, Killer Mike, he's been in the game for the longest
Quite
time.
some time.
I mean,
Outkast was still making
right,
their
all the
songs.
way
He
back
was-
to his connection with the Dungeon Family, Outkast, and all of that, right? Fast forward, you know, he went through
20 plus years, maybe.
Yeah, he went through a phase where he changed his name to Mike Bigger.
I remember
Mike
that.
Bigger. And actually, that was around the time he hosted my Boondocks mixtape.
Nice.
He went by Mike Bigger. And then, you know, he changed his name back. But this is before Run the Jewels, which is one of my I love the super groups.
Oh yeah.
Like from Run the Jewels to Czarface.
Absolutely.
I mean, like I love Prime.
Those collaboration groups, it usually brings you best of a both worlds situation, and they usually come out on top. Run the Jewels is dope.
Yeah, Run the Jewels is fire, you know. But yeah, so even before Run the Jewels, it started out with you know, Killer Mike and his work he did with Adult Swim.
Nice, okay.
I think I think he did like a voiceover on Friskadingo.
Yeah.
That show on Adult Swim. And so that's how he got connected with LP.
Okay.
And LP did the rap album. This was before Run the Jewels.
Understood.
So Killer Mike put out the rap album, which hands down, I thought that was a great project then. You know what I mean? Because it has LP's production.
Mike sticks to his own thing, so that's why it's not always commercially, spreadable. But
exactly,
hey man, you pop it in. If you're a hip hop fan, you're gonna enjoy yourself every time.
So when I heard of when I first heard that he was joining forces with LP and they formed Run the Jewels, and not only will LP be doing the beat, you know, the beats, he's gonna be rhyming with him, because I was a fan of LP from Company Flow.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm familiar.
Big Raucous Records fans. You know what I'm saying? The whole nine. You know what I mean?
I miss those Violator record days. Those compilation albums.
Violated. Yeah, but yeah, you know. So I was a big Raucous Records fan.
Raucous Records, nice.
Yeah. So, you know, Company Flow, LP. So you put the two together. So I'm like, yo, and it's a unique sound,
right? It just
you know
makes
what
sense.
I mean? So now, you know, which he funded this Michael album himself.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And that was his biggest thing.
Yeah.
It's my money. I put my own money out to make this happen. And I mean, it's critically acclaimed.
Exactly.
You can't buy the acclaim. You can buy a lot of the promotion surrounding it, but you can't buy people liking it.
He said it was his best work. And he
stood on that.
He stood on that.
He stood on that. And I'm
you
gonna be honest.
You don't get a lot of artists that do that stand on it and
actually give it to you.
You know what I hate? I hate when, because a lot of artists do this. They'll build up a bunch of hype, or they'll have somebody else say, "Yo, I heard the album, yo, the
This is
album,
fire,
I heard
bro.
it, yo, it's the best thing I heard like ever." And then the album drop and it's like a bunch of mediocre shit,
double dookie,
right?
You know, and it's crazy because you have to consider the source, man. You have to understand who and what you're getting your information from. You have to understand if a person's comfortable saying, "Hey, I think this," or thinking it and telling you they know it. That's a total different ball game. You have to understand who you're getting it from, because some people will give you a lot of opinion and tell you it's fact.
Exactly.
And that's not the case, man. Look at Marvels. It's not a fact that that's a bad movie. It is a ridiculously fun movie.
Right.
Killer Mike, that is a ridiculously good rap album.
Yeah.
Period. It might not be a crossover. It might not be commercial.
Right.
It's a rap album, and that's what he won.
So you hit on a key thing. You said crossover, and when I think of crossover, I think of dollars, and I think of the argument some of these youngsters had with, yo, who the hell is who the fuck is a Killer Mike?
Right.
And I never heard him, or he didn't sell as much as such and such, or he didn't do this and that, or whatever. And you know, this goes back to my whole longevity rant.
Indeed.
When you invest in your music, and not only did Killer Mike invest in it artistically, but financially.
Yeah.
Like,
All of the recoups go back to his own pocket.
Right.
You
So
know
you
how
talking about
amazing that is?
But check this out. They're not even getting that point.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
They're not looking at
like
that.
he didn't sell as much as such and such, but guess what?
It's all his.
It's all his. It's coming back to him.
And those ones that sell more, it's because they had more money behind the promo, and that recoup goes back to the company. That's why it looks like it's more, because that company needs more back from the artist.
Exactly.
He did it on its own.
On his own. Exactly. You know what I mean? So, I mean, look, shout out to Killer Mike.
Indeed.
He's the, he's definitely the homie.
I appreciate him because he talks about buying the block and not buying the bar. And he shows you that. He'll show you videos of neighborhoods that he grew up in where he owns the neighborhoods. Man,
Exactly.
It matters.
Exactly.
It matters.
MC, true MC.
Philanthropist.
Activist.
With all his heart too. He is not afraid to tell you what he's for. Trendsetter.
Mm-hmm. And I love the dynamic. This is a love podcast. The dynamic between him and his wife.
Absolutely.
His wife is like his biggest cheerleader, man. Like, like you can't, it don't get no better than that.
It doesn't, having a strong woman in your background.
They have businesses together, and that's another narrative with this episode.
Yeah.
Another strong woman.
Yeah.
Another strong woman, because
that's a hip hop power couple.
He even said when he talked to Joe Budden even said that Mike said that he had numerous talks with his wife.
Mm-hmm.
Like, look, I'm willing to bet it all, put all the chips in on the table. You know what I mean?
That's what's necessary.
And to have a wife that says, you know what, I'm rocking with you.
Look at
I'm rocking with
Gucci Mane. What's her name? Keisha Kior. When he went to jail, gave her all of his money, and she doubled it.
It's crazy. We're gonna get to that too, because we're gonna get to
They're
that.
probably on the list. I'm sure.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that because this is a love podcast. You know what I'm saying? It's a love episode.
Hip hop marvels.
Yes, indeed. But so going back to that, him and his wife, they have a great dynamic, and he bet it on himself. And that's if anything we can take from this, and this goes out to the youngsters that doubted or say they didn't know him. Look, now you got a chance to get to know him.
Yeah.
You got a chance to go listen to this album and see what the fuss is about.
Yeah. And don't believe that narrative that the older artists hate the younger ones. That's so false.
It's far from it.
Yeah, it's so far from it. You guys separate yourself. And I guarantee you, if you allow yourselves to be teachable to the ones that have been here already,
you'll learn a thing or two, and you'll be able to
reach a lot more people.
Reach a lot more people. And to segue into this next situation here, longevity, you'll be able to, do residencies in Vegas and stuff like that. So
hip hop's the only genre where our artists expire. It's crazy. It's like, oh, you're too old to still be trying to rap. So why is Bruce Springsteen 82 and still able to sell out a house?
The boss is still bossing.
You know
what I'm saying? The boss is still bossing.
Ozzy Osbourne and things of those nature. Those artists can still go on into their twilight years and still be looked at very same.
And not even make another album
ever. They're still doing the exact same stuff from 30, 40 years ago with the same people that was there in those concerts 30, 40 years ago.
When you make timeless music, you don't
Time doesn't ruin it.
It speaks for itself.
Yes.
Like it speaks for it makes money.
Yeah.
It accumulates money itself. Like you don't have to.
Right.
Like it's just timeless.
Look at the countless hip hop songs we have now that we really can't listen to anymore because it didn't grow with time. And once time goes in certain songs, you outgrow.
Exactly.
Timeless music that doesn't happen to.
Exactly.
It doesn't happen to.
Exactly. So so Wu-Tang Clan, late last year, they announced that they were going to have a residency, a Las Vegas residency, following their New York State of Mind tour, which I got a chance to go to.
That's fantastic.
Got a chance to go to with my dad. I actually told my dad he was there.
That's dope.
Yeah, man. My dad loved it, man. Maybe I'll put some clips in this
episode. You
episode.
Absolutely should. I would like to see that myself.
From that, you know what I mean? But yeah, man. He had a great time.
Shout out good dads, man.
Yeah, man. He had a great time. He was like, taken aback because hip hop, and you and E mentioned it last episode. Listening to certain songs put you in
that time and space,
specific moments, specific moments in your life or where you were at. Like I could hear triumph from Wu-Tang and
I remember exactly where I was the first time
I was at. You know what I'm saying? Or Hit 'Em Up.
Oh wow, yeah.
When I heard Hit 'Em Up,
first time I heard that.
When I first heard it, like, oh, he going that, oh shit, he going that big word.
And
like,
you know, as a teenager, I didn't really progress into, you know, what you see now until about 16. I was a short, fat, thick glasses nerd. So hip hop was something that I ingested, but it wasn't me. It wasn't me. I was, you know, I was doing multiplication tables and reading Encyclopedia Britannica in between those things.
Nigga said Encyclopedia Britannica.
So hip hop being my life didn't happen until about 16, 17 when I started rapping. And it just, I don't know, it changed. It changed. And it changed the way I saw a lot of things through the lens of hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
Changed the way I saw the world in general, man. And it wasn't always a good thing, but it wasn't always a bad thing. You know,
right.
Growing up where I grew up in Philly, the streets kind of taught you a lot of what you were going to encounter. And
exactly.
Hip hop gave you a lot of the stuff in between. So
exactly in between it. Yep.
Having songs from then be still relevant now is important.
Right.
We don't have a lot of stuff to take in. We don't. It's so many booty holes.
Right. But yeah, so Wu-Tang Clan, the name of their residency is The Saga Continues, which I love it.
Wow.
That's dope.
It is.
Yeah, The Saga Continues. And you know they're just gonna be you know, hitting us with the classics, man, from like Protect Your Neck, Triumph, Cream.
Shame on them.
Uzi. You know what I mean? So you know, I think this is another a great addition to the Wu-Tang legacy.
Absolutely. Outside of that album that only one person listened to.
Oh yeah,
I still will not understand the entire idea around that. I mean, yes, it was sold for whatever million, but Wu-Tang didn't get that money, so I don't really know how that works out.
Yeah, I don't. I get the concept, artistically, I get the concept
of it, but the execution and
then you had my man Martin Shkreli. He bought it first and
excuse me,
fuck shit
somebody
up.
else. Yeah, and it's crazy because it's like if you guys had work and stuff to give, you got so many fans that was waiting for it, and then you sold it at a premium where nobody can ever get to it. So I don't know how that's going to be.
Yeah,
maybe we might get some of those secret tracks at the residency. Who knows?
I don't know, but yeah. So I mean, it's been said that, you know, we can expect the whole tribe. You know what I'm saying?
That's
the whole
beautiful.
clan.
Bring back Shaheem. Is he even still alive?
Yeah, Shaheem. What? Yeah. He's alive and kicking. Yeah,
nice. Yeah. Bring back everybody. Give me Golden Arms. You got. I want everyone.
Oh, you want you even want the affiliates?
Yeah, I want all of that. That would be dope.
Like you got the main hub of Wu-Tang, right? And then you got all the affiliates from everybody from Killer Army.
That's the name I was looking for. Killer Army.
Sons of Man, Shaheem,
GP, yes, indeed, man. That's crazy.
Black on Black Crime, yeah. GP Wu. Even King Just to a point. You know what I'm saying?
You can tailor that through your ticket sales and see what type of, you know, audience you have and bring in certain guests, man. Because, you know, you bringing up Family on the last episode, like it's just so many one-offs that came associated with bigger groups that people would still have nostalgic value for.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, man, like I'm guessing this is like the first hip hop residency though, right? In Vegas? I've never heard
a hip hop one. You know, you got Usher and other ones.
Yeah, and then you got like the Jabberwockies. They dance to hip hop,
but no, not that, because you know that's still random songs. So
right.
I think that's a beautiful thing.
That's a beautiful
itself.
accomplishment.
Yeah.
To be, you know, the first, and also, you know, like they made timeless music. They got plenty of it. And then not only that, like you're talking about a group that has like everyone in their group to be great solo artists. Mm-hmm. So you got those catalogs as well.
Absolutely.
Like, you know what I mean? So
yeah, oh my God, so many individual albums from each one. And then,
you could do an album a night.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
And then you have other members of the groups in each album. So it doesn't exclude anybody at any point.
Pretty much they have their own they have their own universe. You know what I'm saying?
So many, but I mean, look at their catalog. They could do different songs each event and never go through the same song for quite some time.
Exactly. And keep it going.
Yeah,
you don't have to and see that's where that longevity
Catalogs,
comes in.
Longevity. Yeah,
that's exactly where that comes in. And but yeah, man, like I'm looking forward to it. My wife and I, we frequent Vegas quite often.
Right.
With wifey being from the West Coast and
stomping grounds. Indeed.
Like I said, I went to the New York State of Mind tour with Wu-Tang and Nas. I'll definitely check this one out. This is it's definitely great for hip hop, man.
It is.
Definitely
it is. Any type of staple or something that can be seen in a consistent basis for hip hop is always necessary, because we get stuff very far and few in between. And some of our functions aren't always that savory. So
exactly, man. So shout out to the whole Wu.
Indeed.
You know what I'm saying? Put them W's up.
Shout out YB, keeping your father's legacy alive, bro. It's always a joy when I see you perform.
Oh yeah, most
anything that your father did, because I'm gonna tell you, I enjoyed ODB as a kid. I'm sure I wasn't supposed to hear a lot of the stuff, but when I first heard the first ever "You Suck My Balls," I felt the earth tremble. It blew my mind. It did. I appreciate you and your father. I really hope you the best of luck. Why?
Yeah, for real. Yeah. Most definitely. So, yeah, man. Droppin Gems. Like I mentioned before, this whole episode is about love
and hip hop marvels.
About love. You know what I mean? And happy Valentine's Day to everyone out there. And before we continue on, we can't go on without shouting out the squad. Big shout out to the squad.
Indeed. Squadron Supreme.
The Almighty Squadron Supreme.
Rick the Ruler.
Yeah, Rick.
Rizzy.
Yes.
Terry, Pat, E-Ray, Brandis. All of you guys, we need all of you back in the house. We're going to keep pumping out these episodes. You may see us in, different tandems, different trios and duos, but guess what? You're going to get these episodes.
You're going to get them.
You're going to get them.
You're going to get them. Indeed. You know what I mean? But yeah, shout out to the squad, everybody.
Everyone.
Once again, please listen, share, rate, and subscribe everywhere you get your podcasts. Absolutely. You know what I mean? Across the board.
And during commercial breaks, I need you guys to go and follow each one of those people I named individually. They will be very easy to find from our pages.
Yes, indeed, because, it's in the podcast synopsis.
Absolutely.
So you'll find all of their handles on social media.
And Rick will guide you through a lot of information. He's very big on giving you stuff you didn't even think to know.
The Collector.
So
the Collector.
Shout out to that guy. I made a misstep saying that I love his brain last episode, and I got a double, triple pause at the end, but I love his intelligence and the way that he thinks. I dare not do it again.
Right. So we're going to keep this love thing going, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And, this episode is Droppin Gems. We're going to focus on the, compare and contrast of power couples in hip hop and in Marvel Comics.
Indeed.
You know what I mean? Power couple. What comes to mind when you think of power couple? Because we talked about earlier, we talked about Okoye and T'Challa. We mentioned J and B.
Right.
Killer Mike. You know what I mean? And his wife Shay. How what does that mean to you as far as being a power couple?
It means a lot. I've grown in real life to understand what that truly means. In comics, the first thought would always be Black Panther and Storm. We didn't get it, in the movies, but that would be my first instance. And then in hip hop, of course, you get the easy example of J and B, and not their power of control; it's their power individually, and then putting it together. Jay-Z is a very powerful individual.
Influence. Power, power of influence.
Beyonce
both.
It's a global.
They both have
icon.
Large followings.
Absolutely. That's what makes them a power couple. When we talk about the comics, Black Panther is an iconic representation for a person like myself. And then with Storm, of course, representation. But she is one of the strongest mutants there is.
Exactly.
So to see them two together, both royalty in their own rights, it's a wonderful thing. I would like to think that I'm in a power couple.
Right.
You know what I mean? I believe my wife is very powerful to be able to do the things that she does and to deal with what I have up here at the same time, because it's a dark, crazy place up here. So,
hey, tell me about it.
Indeed.
Tell me about it.
Love is a wonderful thing. It can crush you. It can build you. I don't know. It can give you joy. It can give you hurt. But at the same time, it makes the world run.
Most definitely. You know, to elaborate on what you were saying, you know, like I said, I would like to think that I'm in one as well. Absolutely. Because, you know, like we mentioned earlier, you know when to step up. I think that's a superpower in itself.
Absolutely. That nonverbal communication just moves you.
Sharing that mental telepathy with your partner and knowing when to show up.
Absolutely.
When to show out or when to step back.
Right.
You know, or fall back or whatever.
Because as a man, that's necessary. Not a lot of guys don't know when to play the background.
Yeah.
You're not going to always be the...
Our ego can get the best of us. A lot of the times.
Absolutely.
A lot of the times. Our ego can get the best of us a 100%. Lot of the times. You know, I call that the Peter Quill syndrome. You know what I'm saying? Like,
ego.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Our ego gets the best of us. And sometimes can it takes a powerful woman to stroke that. You know what I'm saying?
But at the
the
stroke
ego.
the ego, but at the same time deflate it to where as though it can fit in the room again.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. You know what I mean? So you know, that, you know, like I said, that's a superpower in itself. And shout out to all the women that, you know, hold their men down.
Indeed. And up.
And we could be hot-headed. We can be, you know, women,
stubborn.
Women, and it's been scientifically proven too that, you know, women are smarter than men. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And even black women are some of the smartest
absolutely.
beings on the planet. You know what I mean? So we can get in our caveman phase and be, you know, spaced out in the brain.
100%. We can be very big doofuses at some time, but that's what make the women as strong as they are, because they're able to still see us the same way.
They
see us. They see us ashy. They see us dumb. They see us forget things. They see us just outside of the manly man that they fell in love with, and they still love us.
Yeah,
that's what makes them as powerful as they are, as well as being able to juggle all of the hats we give them.
There you go. There you go.
They do a lot.
There you go. So you know, some couples you mentioned. I know you mentioned Jay-Z and B.
Mm-hmm. Those are the easy ones.
The easy ones. Yeah. You got now more recently, and I think they're going to a little turmoil now. But you got like Cardi B and Offset. That's a more recent notable one. Remy Ma, Papoose.
That's so disappointing of a downfall for them.
You know what I mean? Like some of these, you know, and they were like, you know, they like the ultimate example.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This man held her down. When I say you hold somebody down,
through jail sentences, through scandal, through a lot, you know, financially, mentally, you know, emotionally.
Exactly.
You know, again, of course, we don't know the entire story, but we know what you guys gave us. And
right.
what you gave us was a solid dude that held it down for over a decade, and he got shitted on after the fact. So, you know.
Yeah, you know, so, you know, another one, Snoop Dogg and Shantae Taylor.
30 plus years.
Now, this one right here.
Ice Cube and his wife. 30 plus years.
Yeah. Now, this one.
Today Was a Good Day. The lady in that song is his kid's mom.
Yeah.
That's how deep that connection goes.
Yeah. That reminded me of when Logic redid Today Was a Good Day.
Absolutely.
O'Shea Jr.
He said he couldn't do that ad lib.
He said, don't do that ad lib because that's my mama.
That's mom.
Like,
I got a beat from Kim and she can all night.
No,
that's his wife and kid's mother. To this day,
like don't do that.
Not all of them f around. Not every rap artist or black guy is just spreading his seed, just willy nilly all over the place. Everybody's not Nick Cannon,
right?
Not everybody is in the position to be that. Some want one thing. Samuel L. Jackson, not hip hop, but Disney in itself. Mace Windu, Nick Fury. That man was a drug addict. She surprised him with a movie audition, and now he has the most money grossing for films in history.
Mm-hmm.
Power couple. It's a woman that believed in his man and her man so much, even through his drug addiction, she saw that he was going to be as great as he is, and she never backed off.
Exactly.
And look what we have in Nick Fury now.
Exactly.
Indeed.
Exactly. So, you know, in Marvel, you have some that had multiple partners, right?
Deadpool.
Yeah, Deadpool. Since you're on him,
he married Shikla. He took her from Dracula. There was a run called The Gauntlet. It's a beautiful run, but as well as their wedding was a record-breaking comic. The cover of that had the most comic characters in.
I remember that one.
Absolutely. He married Shikla, but she was very promiscuous. She cheated on him quite a bit, so, you know, that didn't last too long.
What about Lady Death? He had his
he had his run-ins with that young lady. Oh, I can't even call her young. She's far from young. Their tumultuous relationship stemmed from Thanos' original motivation for the snap.
And that's you know,
my Thanos guy over here.
Right. So that's the connection
between us two right
it's
there.
Death.
And we battle between this Lady Death right here. But there is a storyline called Thanos Wins, where he got a smooch. He finally got a smooch from Lady Death because he was able to eviscerate everything.
Yeah, right.
So I don't know how he won, but
you gotta realize
he got what he was looking for.
You gotta realize Thanos was so infatuated with this.
He couldn't think about anything else, man.
I mean, and it's just like everything this nigga tried. She was
everything.
Like, nah.
Oh, killed $1 billion?
Nah.
I tried $1 trillion. Never mind. You're good.
Yeah. Like nothing was good enough. Like the epitome of playing hard to get.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, man, I love that whole like dynamic between those three and everything. But you got
before you leave, not to cut you off, I have a Deadpool versus Thanos that I was supposed to give you last time you were here.
Right on. I appreciate that. Spider-Man, Gwen Stacy, Mary Jane, like you got
Oh yeah.
You know, so like out of that whole, you know, out of his whole
Sue and Reed Richards.
Sue and Reed Richards.
That is a power couple
itself,
definitely, for sure.
Definitely power couple, definitely. Because I'm trying to think of Marvel characters whose you know, spouses actually like, you know, help elevate them.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, there's so many situations where we have it, but then they either retcon it or change it, and there's a love triangle or something. Most of those relationships end bad, you know.
Right.
They do a good job of adding controversy and scandal between a lot of those relationships. I mean, it makes for good reading, of course.
So there's been like a lot of love triangles. Jean Grey's.
I was getting ready to say Cyclops and Jean Grey and Wolverine.
Yeah, she's been caught up in a lot of them. You know what I mean? One relationship I do like, that it's crazy because it's very complex, but it goes to the lengths of like how much would you tolerate in a relationship, and this is Rogue and Gambit.
Wow, that's a deep one. Their relationship is so crazy, man.
Yeah,
so crazy. And then even with Rogue and her powers, the emotional turmoil she went through, even trying to find a mate because she killed so many or hurt so many just by touching them. You know,
right? A kiss of death.
Yeah, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. So just love in itself in those comics are always a crazy read, man. It's always good to try to sort through those storylines.
Yeah, most definitely. Like, you know, and both in hip hop and Marvel, they both have like a significant influence.
Absolutely.
On each other.
And it's always crazy with hip hop because it's like, okay, one artist featuring this other, and then next day, are they an item? The first thing you think that they're dating because they did a song together, but you know, a lot of those couples came from those cameos or features.
Right.
Nelly and Ashanti. That's another. There you go. That's another good one. You know, they spun the block on each other, and they seem to be the happiest they've ever been.
Man, I love seeing clips with them. They like two little kids.
Oh my God, the biggest smiles you've ever seen on two of those individuals in life, and they just seem to be enjoying each other,
and that's what it's all about. That's
dope,
what it's all about.
Yeah.
You know, that's what it's all about. You know, enjoying each other. We mentioned like how you know, we're like total best friends with our wives and whatnot. Like there's nothing like we wouldn't do with, you know,
right.
And then, you know, it just knowing somebody has your back.
Right.
knowing somebody has your back.
You have to be able to be bored with someone. You have to be able to have fun with a person. You have to be able to be mad at them. You have to be able to go through all of the gamut of emotions and still see them the same way.
Exactly.
And, us as guys, we deal with so much on a day-to-day that we don't always respect how much our emotions go up and down. But
Exactly.
our wives notice it, and they do a good job of pivoting based on who we are at that moment.
Exactly. You even got some. We can go towards the MCU. You got a few relationships in there. Few couples. One prime one I could think of is Pepper Potts and Tony Stark.
Tony Stark, indeed. That was
even in the comics too. Like that
100%,
relationship.
yeah.
I mean, even though Tony was the playboy, like a motherfucker, and
billionaire playboy philanthropist, as he likes to say.
Yeah, and in the comics, he definitely was all over the place.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
he was a promiscuous alcoholic asshole. Actually, yeah. He even had protocols inside of Jarvis, for when he pissed himself. Because he was most of the time drunk, so he had an exhaust system in there to remove the pee after he pissed himself.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But yes, so him and Pepper Potts, like the dynamic from Iron Man 1 all the way, through all three Iron Mans and even the Avengers, like their dynamic.
Happy and Aunt May.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's a nice little relationship. I thought that was pretty cool that they put in there.
Mm-hmm. And going back to Tony and Pepper, just to see the growth of the relationship from him, like from
just
her,
a random assistant, you know what I mean?
Random assistant to her, like taking over the
being
company.
number 2 in charge, indeed.
Taking over the company, and then his death, just being right there and coaching him and talking.
She was rescued.
And talking. That was hard. Endgame was hard, man.
That was a rough movie, man.
I watched it again like a few weeks ago, and bruh, I
feel the same way.
My eyes was watering up again.
Yeah, even the on your left, like, it just, you get chills, man.
Seeing Tony, because if you guys, I beat it into you guys' head plenty of times. Pause, but Tony, Iron Man is my favorite superhero. So seeing that scene where he's like skinny inside the spaceship in the beginning of Endgame.
Fun fact that we were going to get an eyeball hanging. The original cut of him after the snap, it looked like zombie Iron Man. Like they had his whole face burnt and they had the eyeball hanging out, kind of like Glenn on Walking Dead.
I remember that.
The test audience said that should have been, it was just a little bit too dark.
Yeah.
And they went away from it. I would have personally loved to seen that scene after the snap, because I mean, it fried him. It pretty much fucked him up.
He was done. He was done.
And seeing what it did to the Hawk's hand, that image would have matched.
Yeah, definitely.
So, but the hanging eyeball, they said, was just a bit much.
Yeah, I remember reading that too, because I was like, whoa.
Yeah, that would have been dope to see.
I was like, in a way, it would have been dope to see. Me as an Iron Man fan, I'm like,
no.
I would have been like, I would have screamed out in the theater, like, no.
Wow.
You know what I mean? I already was shedding thug tears, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, you got Steve and Peggy.
Oh yeah. My man went back in time to get that ass. Yeah, Steve. He went back in time to get that ass.
Oh man, he got some of them past tense cheeks.
Oh yeah.
You got Wanda in
Vision.
In the Vision,
Oh,
yeah. Scarlet Witch and Vision. You know what I mean? What you think about that dynamic, like them building up?
I thought it was beautiful. I thought
even playing out into WandaVision.
Oh, absolutely.
And
just the transition from his digital frame of thought to his what he felt like was his human feelings. Just the fact of him processing feelings. One of my favorite scenes, I believe it wasn't from the show, was from Avengers, when Wanda was in the room and he came through the wall instead of using the door.
I remember that.
It was just small little tidbits of him not understanding full human social cues. Even on WandaVision.
Social cues or boundaries.
Boundaries, just in general. Yeah. He didn't totally understand that, and that growth. And then her growth from, she took the whole town hostage.
She was ruthless.
She didn't understand the damage she was causing.
She was ruthless, and then to see her have some type of heart.
Absolutely.
You know,
it was
after
crazy.
everything that happened to her, her brother died. Like she watched her brother die, and then pretty much like it showed in Endgame when she went 1-on-1 with Thanos. She was like, "You took everything from me. Like
I don't even know who you are.
Like who are you? And you like
and even in Multiverse of Madness, her angry state. It was beautiful.
Yeah,
man. They let her loose, and I thought it was so amazing.
Her growth was she had her growth was great.
Bring her after getting all of that anger out. They have to give us a really strong villain to deal with the amount of power she has.
Oh, she's like she's one of them ones.
She's up there. So the villain has to be something that he has to be stronger than that snap. To make it worthy, and her and Vision's dynamic, I love the growth and I love their relationship. I don't want that to end at all.
Right, one of them ones, man. But I would go on to say Peter Quill and Gamora.
That hurts. That hurts.
But
I'm gonna tell you, I think she's lying.
It's short lived, and it's like, yeah, you're right.
I believe she remembers. I think she's putting him through the ringer on purpose. I definitely believe she held on to those memories. Is certain little things, especially on the third Guardians of the Galaxy.
Certain little things that let you know that, right? Yeah.
He keeps trying and she keeps shooting him down, but you see little smirks behind some of the comments she says. I really feel like she remembers. She's just choosing.
It's almost on some it's almost on some and this is one of my favorite Adam Sandler movies.
50 First Dates. I know exactly where you're going.
Yeah.
100% because that's how I saw it. That's how I see it.
It's like I gotta keep proving to you every day I'm gonna do that.
If I gotta make you fall in love with me again
over and over, I'm gonna do that.
It's all good. Yep.
I'm gonna do that. Yeah, man. So
shout out to Adam.
Yeah, so that's why that's powerful, man.
Indeed.
You know what I'm saying? Peter Quill and Gamora. Back to hip hop, man. It just popped in my head. Peppa and Tretch.
Long term.
Originally,
yes, but I mean, if you watch some of their interviews, he was an abusive piece of stuff to her. He wasn't too kind to her. So I don't know how to properly quantify that. Again, it's just stories. I'm only observing what I got out of it. But Salt and Pepper did their story. Naughty by Nature did their story, and most of those line up to him being a promiscuous abuser. So I don't know exactly where that falls, and them being a power couple. But in that heyday. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm talking about. Like
back then,
when it first popped off,
Salt and Pepper was the quintessential. You saw those hairdos, you saw those bamboo earrings, you saw those outfits in every one of my aunts back then in those 90s, and that's just what they looked like. You know what I mean? And Naughty by, the OPP jackets back then,
the hats with the little tassel.
Absolutely. The little tassel hats. Absolutely. They controlled
walking around with a machete
images.
And a baseball aluminum bat.
It did. They ruled
the chains
back then. Absolutely. The big old dog chains.
Like a damn regular fucking chain with a master lock on that motherfucker.
Absolutely. And
you know what I'm saying? Like,
so the imagery and the control that they had back then is unparalleled. So you are correct with those two.
Yeah. But yeah, there's plenty ASAP and Riri.
That's a deep one, yeah.
ASAP and
she's
Riri
as
right now.
powerful as she possibly can, and you feel what you want about ASAP. He's put out 3 critically acclaimed albums, and he's a fashion icon for the ones that follow, that side of things. So still,
Kanye West and Kanye West.
Oh, that is the biggest love relationship there. No one loves Kanye the way Kanye loves Kanye. That is just a fact.
I mean, he's with Shorty, that
Bianca Sensory, but that is a showpiece.
That she just keep walking around ass naked everywhere. Yeah. Like, I'm like, okay, well, you want everybody to see what you got.
And he walking around with his ass out. So you seen the video of him getting in the truck. You're like, damn, Kanye, you double cheeked up on a Thursday, bro. Put some drawers on. How you got on them big ass denims with no drawers, bro? Come on, man. I know your balls is chafing in them jeans. I know it. I know it. You got on them rubber galoshes, some giant jeans, and no drawers. I know them balls is chafing in that denim.
Oh my goodness, balls.
No, fuck that. Yeah, I know your balls is chafing in them.
He said no one man can have all that power.
Right.
But yeah, Kanye. You know, so there's a lot, you know, and each one, I guess, you know, to bring this on out, you know, to bring it home. Each respective medium deals with their, you know, relationship matters in a different way.
Absolutely.
You got, you know, Marvel characters dealing with powers and different, you know, villains and things of that nature in their way. And then you got, you know, MCs, rappers, whatever the case may be, dealing with everyday issues with their spouses.
Right.
And that could be love could be on the up and up. It could be on the down.
Right.
You know, and it's just all about how you deal with it.
Fame doesn't change how you deal with it.
I'll be lying to say that I don't argue with my wife, you know.
Oh, that would be unrealistic.
Right. You know what I'm saying? But it's
how you come back.
It's how you come back.
It's just the key to it all, man.
Basically.
It's just seeing it the same way, because you're going to disagree. You're not going to agree on everything. It just to think that makes absolutely no sense.
Exactly.
But having that love, knowing that partner is your partner even after or before disagreeing, makes so many things easier.
Exactly. And, you know, that's what it's all about, love, man. And, you know, we just want you guys, you know, couples out here listening, you know, I know there's a lot of hip hop Marvelites that are, you know, couples.
Right.
And I think those are the dopest couples.
Indeed.
If you're listening to us as a couple,
you guys are doing something right.
Right. Exactly. Kudos to you guys.
Indeed.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's what it's all about. We want you to enjoy this Valentine's Day. Get out there, and it's new comic book, you know, Wednesday.
Indeed. Absolutely.
So that's
I'm sure there's going to be some
great date.
Valentine variant covers. I'm sure.
Right. That's a great date. You know what I mean? By the time this comes out, the Super Bowl will already had gone on.
And
but
the Deadpool trailer will be shown then. They did not give us exactly when, but trust and believe we will be breaking it down after.
Oh, yeah. We will definitely. And you might get that before this.
Indeed. Indeed.
You might get that one before this one. You know what I mean? So, yeah, most definitely. We got a lot of content coming to you guys. You know, before we get out of here, I want to, because we don't have any Nexus events.
Understood.
E, you know, E's not here. E-Ray. He's not here.
E.
Shout out E.
Slim with the tapered ankles.
That's right. All day. You know what I mean? But yeah, so we don't have any Nexus events this episode, but we do have a Did You Know from Rick.
Rick the Ruler.
And let me pull this up and give you this let's see. Give you this Did You Know. Okay, so his Did You Know it says, did you know Colossus is susceptible to vibranium? When in direct contact with vibranium, Colossus reverts to his organic form. Unknown why, he'd be useless in a battle against Black Panther, where his claws would penetrate his skin.
That is deep right there. I had no clue of that.
Yeah.
That
so vibranium,
whatever
and
metal
Colossus,
that he is made of, the vibranium deactivates it.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So yes, it's a good tidbit.
Actually very interesting, yeah.
It's a good tidbit to know. So yeah, shout out to Rick, man, with the Did You Knows.
That's dope.
And he'll be back soon too. You know, like a lot, like, you know, like Jig said, you know, you're gonna get these episodes.
Regardless. And a lot of different variations.
We're gonna be, a lot of different variations. We're gonna be rotating. It's like the Three Stooges. One episode you're gonna get Curly.
The other one you get Shep.
There it is. You know what I'm saying? So the only thing is we got to decide who's who.
Right. Yeah, that'll be a funny episode. Trying to figure that out.
Who's who? Who's Bo, Larry, Curly, Shep? You know what I mean? Who's who?
Just don't let me be the one that does this when they try to poke him in the eyes. I don't want to be that guy.
Why I ought to. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. Anything else you would have add before we get up out of here, man?
I'm just happy to fucking be here. I love this shit. This is one of my favorite things to do. I love you guys, and I love this Hip Hop Marvels podcast.
Man, yeah, man. Same thing. Like I said, you know, get out there, love on each other. We talking to the couples.
It's very easy to hate each other, man.
Right, man. Love on each other.
Easy.
And yeah, man, we'll be back next episode. please remember to listen, share, rate, subscribe.
Yes.
Everywhere you get your podcasts, across the board. You name it, we're there.
Comment some things you might want to see.
There it is.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Let us know. Let us know if you want, some type of specific guest. Let us know some specific things you might want to hear us talk about.
Yes. Any comments, suggestions, email us at hiphopmarvels@gmail.com. Don't forget to follow us on all of our social media.
DJ Dub Floyd, Jigpool. Please go follow us on all social medias. There'll be a lot of content that you'd be missing out on.
Yes, you got Instagram and X at Hip Hop Marvels. You got Facebook, Hip Hop Marvels, all one word. We're on YouTube now. And you can get our audio podcast episodes on YouTube Music now.
Yep. Spotify.
And Spotify. We're everywhere. So, yeah, just...
We're the only ones. Trust me. You type it in, we will pop up. Same thing with Deadpool. You Google Deadpool, 3 people pop up. Ryan Reynolds, Rob Liefeld, and this guy right here. That's exactly what you're going to see. You Google it. I guarantee you, I'll bet you some money.
Hey, what I told you the other day, I said, I put the post out on the page. I said, look, Robert Downey Jr. said we have a Hulk.
We got a Deadpool.
Indeed.
And I appreciated that so much. I thought that was so dope.
But yeah, before we get out of here, reiterate the giveaway real quick.
Once again, we have an active giveaway. Winners will be drawn February 16th. There are 3 steps to it. You can go and like the post. I will make another post so people can have something else to engage to, but you follow myself, you follow Hip Hop Marvels Podcast on Instagram and YouTube, then you go to that post and comment done so I can save your name. I have been tallying votes since yesterday. Winners will be drawn on the 16th of February. We might even do it live, so you never know.
That's what's up. You want to show them a little
Absolutely.
Something? Give them a little taste of what they, you know what I mean, what they can expect, you know what I mean? Little taste of what they can expect. Don't have to be everything, it's just a little something, just a little something, what they can expect, you know what I mean?
So I have some individual Funko Pops from the new line that has come out. I have a bunch of these as well as full sets. Now, one lucky winner will get a variant set of one of the newest runs of Deadpool Batter Blood. These variants are not out, so you will be one of the few people with them. And then I have a bunch of other duplicates. So you guys, trust me, there's some good items, and most of these items I have no one else has.
That's what's up. And so until next time, until next episode, this is Hip Hop Marvels Podcast.
What up, young Wizzy? You a genius, partner.